AskReddit by Donman 12345. What is a fact about raising infants that everyone should know? Not all poop stays in the diaper. We refer to it as a shitastrophe or a blowout. Shocking how quickly they develop their own distinct preferences, which at their age they are willing to die on a hill for because they don't know any different. My kid was like 5 days old and my spouse was holding them facing outward. Kid was screaming and I said, "I don't think she likes that." Spouse said she's too young to like things. Turned baby around and she stopped screaming. Never ever shake them. And they have a soft spot on their head called a fontanelle. Be careful with it. My mom is 50 years old, mostly grew up in the US, birthed and raised her kids all here, but yet she believes that Latino myth that a sunken soft spot is why your baby won't eat. Stop crying. The first couple months are extremely difficult, especially for mom if she is breastfeeding. Then it gets quite a bit easier until they can walk. Then it gets really hard again. Definitely enjoy that brief reprieve in the middle, lol. I didn't appreciate the stationary stage last time. Being able to put them down and when you come back they haven't moved is worth more than I realized, lol. You can't feed them water or honey. If you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious and like you're about to explode because the baby just won't stop crying, it's okay to put them down in their crib for 5 minutes and close the door. They'll be okay for a little while and it gives you a chance to get a drink of water, breathe and calm yourself down. It's definitely better than doing something you can't undo. I could not get my baby to stop crying, and I was running on multiple days of no sleep, as you do. I set him in his crib, closed the door and slept for about 30 minutes in the next room while he wailed. I woke up and was much better able to deal with him. I don't think he stopped crying of course, but at least I could bounce him, feed him, burp him, etc. That first year was extremely rough. Do not feed them honey. Honey can contain spores, bacteria that can cause botulism. Adults can defeat the bacteria, but babies are very susceptible to it. Don't give them honey until they are at least 1 year old. I think it's 2 years now. You have to trim their nails or they'll claw the shit out of themselves. I had no idea about this until I became a parent. No one talks about trimming baby nails. You can trim the nails and 5 hours later you might just have only dreamt you did. How are the nails growing so fast? I don't remember what I do when. I was seriously thinking I must have dreamt I cut her nails, but my husband said I did as well. I am not 100% sure he didn't have the same dream, though. An infant can drown in water that is 1 inch deep. Stay vigilant. They are really trying hard to die, worse than pandas. Each infant is different. What works or advice from other parents may not work out with your own baby, which is completely fine. And since they are different, what worked for your first baby might not work for your second baby, or third, etc. If you plan on using daycare, in some places it is tough to find and you need to reserve your spot when there is a twinkle in your partner's eye. Do not wait until baby is born. If your baby sneezes while you're changing a diaper, poop can travel up to 8-10 feet. Arrange furniture accordingly. Oddly specific. They will get sick. And then you'll get sick too. You can't spoil a baby. If they need cuddles, food, attention, give them it. They cannot manipulate you. I'm horrified this has to be said. What else do people expect to do with a baby? This isn't directed at you. Total. You're probably not going to sleep well for a little bit. You'll have to work around their schedule when it comes to sleep. You're going to go through a lot of diapers and milk and food. You're going to have to learn to keep dangerous stuff away from them. Cleaners, knives, glass, medicine. Our infant and toddler will mostly be monkey see monkey do, so you'll have to mind your P's and Q's and cross your T's and dot your I's around them. You want the best for them, so you'll have to lead the way. They depend on you. Being an adult might be stressful, but to them, it's the coolest thing in the world. This is great advice, thank you. You can't spoil them. I can't believe there were multiple generations of people who thought showing affection to infants would spoil them. Whoever came up with that was a psychopath. You're doing great, keep going. Thanks. If you've ruled out all the obvious discomforts and child is still crying, you can pick them up and do body squats with them held against your chest. It triggers their falling reflex, which distracts them from whatever discomfort they are feeling. As an added bonus, discomfort is usually caused by congestion of some sort somewhere in their body. The bouncing up and down can help tissue perfusion, which can resolve their discomfort. Gagging is noisy. Choking is silent. Don't panic if your child takes a big bite and the gags and retches it out. Common. Panic if they take a big bite and then go silent but are clearly in distress. Uncommon. Necklaces are irresistible to a 6-month-old. If you don't want it possibly going into their mouth, don't wear one. Dangly earrings are a bad plan if you don't want them yanked on hard. When mine was an infant, she managed to grab my glasses off my face a few times, too. Swim diapers only hold solids. They don't hold pee. Learned that driving Milo to swim class. Soggy car seat. They move faster than you think. I think pretty slow anyway, so that's not saying much. I learned when I was like 34 that when an infant is born, the mother has to feed or pump every 3 hours, and also get up once or twice in the middle of the night. And I'm a woman. This just somehow never came up in conversation. Dealing with the infant is hard, but I didn't realize that level of sleep deprivation came with it just to maintain the milk supply. So probably something people should know, that it's not just the baby crying or needing a change, there's also this super aggressive feeding schedule. The sleep deprivation is real. At some point I was so tired I forgot to pull my underwear down when I went to use the restroom. And it took me a good 5 seconds to realize what was wrong. All clothing and jewelry will be decorated with baby spit up. Not to mention furniture and floors. I asked my mom if she could come watch the baby so we could properly clean the house. She said no. I need to wash the floors. Sometimes you wish they would just shut up. Yet, you still get up to take care of them. Because they're fully dependent on you and you're the one who brought them into this world. This reminded me of the video of Samuel L. Jackson reading a book called Go the Fuck to Sleep. It's become my most quoted book in my head.